In the vast tapestry of our galaxy, filled with frozen gas giants, rocky desert worlds, and endless silence, there is a planet that refuses to play by the rules. K218B. It orbits a cold red dwarf star more than 110 light-years away in the constellation Leo, and yet this alien world could be the closest thing to Earth we've ever found, and also the closest thing to life beyond it. For years, astronomers suspected that something strange was happening there. First came signs of water vapor, then hints of carbon-based molecules. But now, with the James Webb Space Telescope scanning its atmosphere in unprecedented detail, we are seeing something that can no longer be explained by chemistry alone. What James Webb has discovered has shaken the scientific world. The clearest biosignals we have ever seen on an alien planet. Gases that, on Earth, can only be produced by life forms. This is no longer speculation, it's information. And this could be the moment when we finally admit that we were never alone. K218B is what scientists call a Hycean world, a mix between an ocean planet and one with a hydrogen-rich atmosphere. It's larger than Earth, with a radius approximately 2.6 times greater and a mass about 8.6 times that of Earth. But what really makes it exceptional is that it lies right on the edge of its star's habitable zone, the sweet spot where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist. And the more we study this planet, the more it looks like an ideal host for alien biology. It's not a dry, rocky wasteland like Mars. It's not a scorching gas ball like Jupiter. This is a world that is likely covered by a huge global ocean, protected by a thick hydrogen atmosphere that maintains mild temperatures and shields it from radiation. The James Webb Telescope revealed that this planet's atmosphere not only contains water vapor, but also traces of carbon dioxide and methane, crucial ingredients for organic life. When these gases are found together in a hydrogen-rich world, they begin to paint a picture that is hard to ignore, one where biological processes could be taking place beneath the waves. But then came the real surprise. In 2025, new data from Webb's MIRI instrument, the mid-infrared spectrometer, found not only carbon molecules, but something much rarer, dimethyl sulfide, or DMS. On Earth, this compound is produced almost exclusively by living organisms, specifically marine phytoplankton. The presence of DMS in a planet's atmosphere would be like finding oxygen on Mars. It's no longer just chemistry, it's biology knocking on the door. And that wasn't all. The same study detected dimethyl disulfide DMDS, a more complex compound also linked to microbial activity in Earth's oceans. The fact that these molecules appeared together in an environment rich in water vapor and carbon compounds has led scientists such as Cambridge astrophysicist Niku Madhusudan to suggest that K218B could be teeming with microscopic alien life. These are not speculative headlines. They are molecular signatures, consistent, verified, and statistically significant enough that the scientific community is seriously considering the existence of a world beyond Earth, where oceans could be alive. So what kind of life could exist on K218B? If dimethyl sulfide is indeed being produced by living organisms, scientists believe the most plausible explanation is that the oceans of K218b harbor life similar to phytoplankton, tiny floating microorganisms that may use the faint red light from their cold sun to perform a form of photosynthesis. But others suggest a more complex scenario. Some theorists imagine filter-feeding creatures, similar to the earliest multicellular life forms on Earth, drifting through nutrient-rich waters, absorbing organic matter and leaving chemical traces. There are even those who dare to imagine alien analogs of flying fish, organisms that evolved in low-gravity, high-pressure environments, possibly capable of limited movement in the atmosphere. In essence, K218b may resemble Earth not as it is now, but as it was 3 or 4 billion years ago, when life was just beginning to flourish in its oceans. And just as Earth's primitive biosphere transformed its atmosphere over time, the same could be happening there. and we are witnessing it in real time. And now that the evidence is mounting, a new debate has emerged. If K218B harbors life, should we try to communicate? Some voices within the scientific community say absolutely not. Physicist Mark Buchanan warns that attempting to contact an unknown biosphere could expose Earth to a civilization for which we are unprepared, or even endanger a fragile ecosystem with our intervention. Ethical philosopher Dr. Anthony Milligan argues that we have a moral obligation to proceed, with caution, not only for our own safety, but also for the protection of whatever may exist out there. Others, such as Avi Loeb, believe that any intelligent life advanced enough to detect our signals would have noticed us already, and might not even take us seriously. Regardless of your stance, the truth is this: a signal from Earth would take 120 years to reach K218B, and another 120 to return. For now, we can only wait. But the data keeps coming. The molecules are there. The ocean is probably real, and the idea that we are alone in the universe is rapidly fading. With K218B now in the spotlight, the world's major space agencies and private companies are quietly readjusting their priorities. Although no current propulsion technology can take us to this ocean world in less than several centuries, plans are already underway for the next phase of observation: a fleet of next-generation telescopes that can monitor it continuously and in greater detail. NASA is preparing to accelerate the development of the LUVOIR and Habeck observatories, both designed specifically to identify exoplanets with life by analyzing atmospheric chemistry. Meanwhile, the European Space Agency and even China's CNSA are proposing their own deep space exoplanet monitoring systems. But it doesn't end there. The idea of launching an interstellar probe, possibly using laser propulsion and solar sails, is gaining momentum. The Breakthrough Starshot initiative, backed by billionaires and scientists, proposes sending microscopic probes at 20% the speed of light. If successful, these missions could reach K218 billion in 500 years. A long timeline for us, but short on the cosmic scale. Humanity may never walk on its shores, but we could witness, for the first time, a message sent from Earth to life beyond it. The scientific implications of finding possible biosignatures on K218B are monumental, but the cultural impact may be even greater. Around the world, religious leaders, spiritual thinkers, and philosophers are already offering interpretations of what this discovery means. Some call it proof that life is not unique to Earth, but part of a larger cosmic design, a universe made for consciousness, not silence. Others have expressed fear, discomfort, and even denial, warning that our worldview is not yet ready to face such a revelation. Social media has exploded with hashtags like #K2Alive and #OceanWorld, while documentaries and fictional adaptations are already in production. Governments remain cautious in their official statements, balancing enthusiasm with scientific rigor. But beneath the surface, something has changed: the collective realization that we are no longer just explorers. Now we are also being observed, and in that realization, humanity is experiencing something rare: a global unity, not out of fear, but out of wonder. As the momentum to discover more about K218B grows, a chorus of voices warns of the need for an ethic of planetary protection, not for Earth, but for that alien biosphere. International panels are already proposing a new category of protected worlds: exobiological sanctuaries. Exoplanets like K218b, where signs of life have been detected, should be studied only from a distance to avoid contamination. Astrobiologist Dr. Monica Vidari insists, if K218b really harbors life, that life has evolved for billions of years without us, and we have no right to interfere. Proposals have emerged to establish a kind of interstellar exclusion zone, limiting future trajectories and emissions from probes. These discussions reflect a deeper understanding. Just because we can observe does not mean we should invade. Because even if those oceans are silent now, even if that life is microbial, it is still the first confirmed relative we have found in the vast universe. And if we are wise, we will learn to listen before we act. Perhaps the most profound thing about K218b is not what it tells us about extraterrestrials, but what it reflects about us. Here is a planet that could have oceans, clouds, and perhaps even primitive organisms, just as Earth once did, long before humanity walked upon it. In a way, observing K218b is like looking back in time to our own origins. It reminds us how fragile life is, how rare it is for the right conditions to come together, and how precious our own blue world is. Some scientists believe that K218b could help us understand how life begins, adapts, and perhaps evolves elsewhere, offering clues for protecting our own biosphere from collapse. Others claim that this is a turning point, a moment when science, faith, and wonder finally converge into a single truth: that life is not the exception, but the expectation. In the cold, silent depths of space, we may have found not an alien, but a reflection of what we once were and what we could still become. K2-18b is no longer just a distant point in the cosmos. It is no longer just a number in a telescope database or a cold dot on a star chart. It is now a window to another possibility, a place that, against all odds, whispers the same chemical secrets as our own living planet. And in that whisper, something has changed. For decades, we asked the same question: are we alone? But now, with the James Webb Telescope revealing unmistakable signs of water, methane, carbon dioxide, and possibly even molecular echoes of alien life, the question has changed. Because we are no longer on the brink of belief, we are on the brink of confirmation. K2-18b may be the first, it may be the closest, but it won't be the last. There are thousands of worlds like this waiting to be seen, studied, understood. And as we gaze through the darkness at this watery giant, we are not just discovering the universe, we are discovering ourselves. And now we ask you, do you think K218b harbors life? Should we send a message or remain silent observers? And if this is truly the moment when we prove that we are not alone, what will humanity become? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if this journey through the stars excited you as much as it did us, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who still looks up at the night sky and wonders. Because the universe may be vast, but it is no longer empty.